This is the kind of woodworking video people say they miss. A small box. A few pieces of wood, some careful cuts, and maybe by the end, the kind of project you could actually build to sell. Nothing crazy, nothing huge, no life-changing table saw trick, no tool that costs more than the furniture, just a simple zebrano watchbox. While I build this little watchbox, I want to talk about how YouTube changed what woodworkers build. Or maybe more honestly, how YouTube changed what woodworkers feel they have to build. I don't think woodworking YouTube changed because woodworkers stopped caring about the craft. I think it changed because the standard moved. A few years ago, there were only a handful of woodworking channels that felt truly professional. Now that level is everywhere. You have people making outrageous tables, sculptural furniture, perfect thumbnails, clean sound, cinematic edits, and stories that make a piece of wood feel like a movie. And honestly, that's not a bad thing. It raises the bar. It pushes everyone. It makes the video better. But once the bar moves, viewers don't forget it. And I'm here building a box. And the reason I'm building this box is pretty simple. A few people noticed the watch I wear in my videos and asked me about it. So I thought, why not build it a proper little home? That's it. That's the whole project. And normally, I probably wouldn't make a YouTube video about this. Not because it's a bad project, and not because it isn't useful, but because it's just a box. And just a box is too normal. That's the strange part. People say they miss simple woodworking videos, and I believe them. I miss them too. But missing something and clicking on it are not the same thing. Because simple woodworking didn't disappear. We as woodworkers still build simple things all the time. Even the YouTubers. The problem is that simple things actually need a bigger reason before people decide to watch. For example, if someone watches a beautiful, polished build today, then tomorrow they click on a small box video filmed like it's 2014. The simple project has to work much harder. Not because the box is bad, not because the craft is bad, but because the viewers' expectations changed. YouTube became the new TV. People come here for documentaries, entertainment, tutorial, podcasts, house builds, car builds, restorations, everything. So a woodworking video is no longer judged only against other woodworking videos. It's judged against everything else someone could watch in that exact moment. And when the room gets louder, a quiet project has to work harder to be heard. That's why newer woodworking videos don't just show the build anymore. They give the build a reason, a question, a problem, a story, something that tells the viewer why this project matters. And I don't think that's fake. I think that's communication. Most people don't need to see every pass over the jointer. They don't need 5 minutes of clamps going on. They don't need every sanding grit explained like it's a legal document. But there is a cost, because the slower videos showed more of the quiet craft itself. The tiny decisions, the little adjustments, the boring parts that actually make you better. And those things are harder to keep in the video when every second has to fight for attention. And I don't say this as if I'm above it, because I'm not. I think about the title before the project is even finished. I think about the thumbnail before I cut any piece of wood. And sometimes, if I have two good directions for a piece, one tall and one wide, I already know which one I'm more likely to choose, the wide one. Not because the tall one is wrong, but because a wide piece is easier to show in a thumbnail. And I know how ridiculous that sounds. Furniture should be designed for the room, for the use, for the person who will live with it, not for the rectangle on a phone screen. But once you start making videos, that rectangle gets into the shop with you, quietly. Even with this box, as an example. It could have been plain, but I picked zebrano. I'm cutting it so the grain wraps around the sides. I'm lining it with walnut. I'm trying to make the lid fit cleanly without any hardware. And part of that is because I like those details. But part of it is also because simple needs a little help now. A simple box still needs something to make you care. So maybe woodworkers didn't stop building simple things. Maybe we just learned that simple things need a better reason now. And if there's one thing I want people to take from this video, it's not that modern woodworking videos are bad. Because they're not. A lot of them are better than ever. But if we really miss the simple ones, the quiet ones, the small shop projects, the videos where someone just makes a useful thing and shows the process, then we probably have to do more than miss them. We have to click them. We have to watch them. We have to comment on them. Tell YouTube that those videos still matter, because the algorithm doesn't know what we feel nostalgic about. It only knows what we actually give our time to. And I'm saying this to myself as much as anyone, because I'm part of this too. I like the big projects. I like the dramatic ones. I like the videos with a reason to care. But I don't want to lose this part, the simple part. The part where a few pieces of wood can become something useful. The part where a project doesn't have to be the biggest thing I've ever made. It just has to be worth making. So today, that's all this is. A small zebrano box. A proper home for a watch. A few careful cuts, a reminder that simple projects still matter, even if they need a better title now. And as for me, I'm going to sit here for a minute with my simple little box. It probably won't be the biggest thing I ever made. It probably won't be the most impressive. And no, it probably won't break YouTube. But it was worth making. And sometimes that should still be enough. I'll leave the SketchUp file for this little box linked below, in case you want to build one too.